Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. Now, the weather was nice. It's about 65 degrees outside, so I decided to come out to the driveway and have a one-on-one with you guys. Now, I call this one the Good Girl Experiment. Now, if you want to know what the Good Girl Experiment is, first you have to know how a young lady's life starts when she enters the age of the sexual marketplace. You know, her late teens, early 20s. I know some of them start earlier than that, but we're not going to get into that stuff. Now, when a woman is in her late teens, early 20s, she can go down one of two paths. And the majority of them go down the bad girl path. Now, the reason they do this is because they understand when they behave like a bad girl, they can often reap a lot of rewards from behaving that way. You know, the average female in her late teens or early 20s, you know, her week goes a little something like this. On Friday, she does her makeup, she puts on a skimpy little dress and a pair of high heels, and, you know, she goes out to the nightclub. She gets free drinks, she parties, she eyeballs a man that she finds to be attractive, she thinks he's hot. You know, she dances with him a little bit, she starts making out with him, she goes back to his place, and this guy is a real sledgehammer. You know, he's good looking, he knows how to put it down. He gives it to her for a good 2 to 3 hours. You know, I'm talking a physical sledgehammer. You know, he beats her out of the frame. I don't know how else to put it. She sleeps about 3 hours. She gets up and walks away like nothing even happened. You know, you'd be surprised how such a petite, fragile, beautiful specimen can take that sort of a beating and just get up and walk away like nothing happened. But she can. She goes out to lunch with a girlfriend. She heads home. She does her makeup again. You know, she puts on another dress. And then she goes and meets with the big baller shot caller that she met on Wednesday. And the two of them are going to go out to a different nightclub, and they're going to sit in VIP. Now, the big baller shot caller is different than the sledgehammer. You know, he has status, he has money. He can give her a certain lifestyle, so she enjoys her time with this guy. And she does go home with him and have sex with him, but it's not the same kind of sex as the sledgehammer. You know, he's not packing the same tools, so to say. But he does get the same sex, it's just, it's not the same sex. But you get what I'm saying, you're catching my drift. Then she goes home on Sunday, she recovers. Monday through Thursday, she's back to college and the part-time job where, you know, she has a whole circle of betas. You know, guys that she doesn't really consider for sex, but, you know, they'll buy her lunch, give her some emotional support, so on and so forth. You know, but these guys aren't taken seriously. They're not for sex. These guys are just for time occupation, time wasting, free attention, and free lunches. You know, that's about it. But while a woman is going through this phase, she is extremely jealous of her friend who took the good girl path. You know, her friend who married her high school sweetheart at 21 years old, by the age of 25 had 2 kids. Her husband is now making 6 figures. She's working as a hairdresser. They live a life of luxury, and it's, for the most part, stress-free. They've got a happy family. So she's jealous of her friend who has this lifestyle. Now, so she begins the good girl experiment. Now, what does this mean? I'll tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that she's not still going to get banged out by the sledgehammer on Friday and party it up with the big baller on Saturday. But what it does mean is when she meets you, she is going to create a no-sex narrative. So you're providing all of the boyfriend-like qualities, maybe the same stuff that the baller is doing, but you're not getting the benefits that the sledgehammer's getting. So what she's trying to do here is she's trying to create a serious environment with the no sex narrative. This is her good girl experiment. So she's going to create rules like she doesn't have sex on the first night. Maybe she makes you wait 4 or 5 nights, maybe the first month. Maybe she doesn't have sex until she gets married. Whatever it may be, but she's going to create these rules for you. And get this. If you try to break the no sex narrative and screw this jacked up experiment up, you will be shamed. You will be called a jerk, a dog, a pervert. Meanwhile, the sledgehammer has never been called a jerk, a dog, a pervert. He gets respect, you don't. That's what happens when you get involved in the good girl experiment. It's funny how being a bad girl worked when all she wanted was some dick and some VIP. But now that she wants respect and commitment, well, it's not working anymore. So now what you get is the good girl. That's what you get. So when you swipe on Tinder, you match with her, and you ask her when you ask her why she's single, she'll respond with, "Because I'm not willing to settle for a man that's just looking for sex. I'm done with little boys and I'm looking for a real man." Now, yes, she's telling a bold-faced lie to you. She is calling the sledgehammer and the baller little boys, when in fact, you're the one that she's treating like a little boy. You're the one that she views as a little boy. You are an experiment. You're part of her good girl experiment, and you're about to enter her no sex narrative. Now, you never want to enter a no sex narrative. Now, that should go without saying. And some of you guys are religious, and you're going to say, well, you're supposed to wait till marriage. Okay, cool, so be it. But when those religious books were written, they weren't factoring in this modern social construct that we call marriage today. Back then, an emotional and spiritual bond between a man and a woman was a freaking marriage, okay? A marriage in the modern world is a social construct. It's a contract between you, the woman, and the state, okay? You're signing a contract with the state. It has nothing to do with the relationship that you have with the woman. So, I think a little bit differently on that. The no sex before marriage thing doesn't make sense to me because I don't think marriage is a part of a religion. I think it's a modern social construct. It's like a pagan holiday or something, if that makes sense. Anyways, back to the topic. When a relationship is strictly sex, friends with benefits, booty call, you may find yourself loving the woman at times. You might find yourself hating the woman at times. But the one thing that remains consistent is you always want to fuck her. You have that sort of a bond with her. You like to touch her. You like to be physical with her. You like to be around her. So the sledgehammer has a fairly healthy relationship with the woman. You know, the baller has a semi-healthy relationship with the woman as well. He's just, we'll say tricking. He's running sugar daddy game on her, whatever. But your relationship with her is totally different in this situation, right? You're in the no sex narrative. So your relationship, you're trying to build a bond that doesn't include sex. You know, when you create an emotional bond with somebody and the sexual chemistry never has a chance to evolve or develop, you create a brother and sister type of love. So she is creating a brother and sister type of relationship with you. And in the back of her mind, she thinks she's going to get a wedding ring, a couple of kids, a nice house, and an easy life like her girlfriend's got. And the way that she's going about it is the good girl experiment, the no sex narrative. Now, I think it goes without saying that any man out there that falls into this narrative is going down a very destructive path. That's probably why the divorce rates are so high. When you marry somebody that you don't want to fuck every single night, the relationship is going to struggle because of it. Sex is the glue that holds a relationship together. Now, when you meet a woman, if you're a guy that's going through this, when you meet a woman and you ask her why she's single, when she hits you with the, because all the other guys are looking for sex, I'm looking for something real or something of that nature. Don't tell her you watched an LFA video and he said, I'm just your good girl experiment and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play your no sex narrative. Now, I want you to be aware of what's going on, but you don't tell her that. Just respond to her with, what makes you think I'm any different than the other guys? And what you have to understand is she's going to follow up 9 times out of 10 with a shit test. And that shit test is going to be, she's going to say something like, good luck and goodbye. I hope you find what you're looking for. So she's basically saying take it or leave it, and then she's going to walk away. Now, your response every single time to this should be to leave her on red. And one of two things will happen. One, she'll go her own separate way, and she'll find a different beta male to run her no sex narrative, good girl experiment on. Or she'll come back to you, but when she comes back, she'll respect you the same way she respects the sledgehammer and the baller. But it's important to steer yourself out of that narrative. You don't want to be caught in a narrative that's going to put you in the brother-sister bond, and then you're going to be so desperate is what she thinks that you're still going to marry her, hoping that you'll get that sex life that you've always wanted, only to find out that that sex life never existed and it was all a dream that she was selling you in order to get what she wanted out of you, And that's the good girl experiment. That's the no sex narrative. That's what you need to avoid at all times. Anyways, that's about all I have on that topic. How far are we? Okay, we've still got a little bit of time that we can chat it up. So what's going on in the world today? Or this week? Well, we've got the Governor Cuomo sex scandal is what we'll call it. But it's interesting. It's interesting how they play these games with us, isn't it? They keep us in the loop. They keep us in the cycle. Truth will set you free. You have to get out of the cycle. So, Andrew Cuomo sex scandal. You research sex scandal. What do you find? You find Deshaun Watson massage sex scandal. And what's the massage sex scandal tunnel lead to? Massage parlor shooting. Racism. Okay, that's where they're going to take you, down that tunnel. Now, if you've been paying attention to current events, you'll understand, you can connect the dots and see they're putting you through this circle back in the loop. Circle back in the loop. And they're hitting you with this bullshit. So many people are going to go down these rabbit holes. You got the people on the right going down these alt-right rabbit holes. And trust me, I've seen all this stuff. I've went down these rabbit holes just to see what it's like, and it's not a pretty picture. And then you got the leftists. They're going down their rabbit hole. The victim mindset rabbit hole. The thin skin, I'm offended by everything rabbit hole. That's not a good one to go down either. You want to stay away from that. But they're trying to put you in these circles, keep you in this loop, and keep your emotions going. Whether it makes you angry, happy, sad, they're trying to keep you stuck in that loop. Why? Why do they want you in that loop? I have no idea. All I know is, if you want to live a happy life, you got to get the fuck out of that loop. When we talk about current events, it's never what it looks like. What you're getting is a tabloid version of what's really going on. And the tabloid version is designed to fuck with your mind. It's designed to get an emotional reaction out of you. You're not getting the true story. You're getting deflection tactics. You're getting bullshit. So I advise you stay away from it. The truth will set you free, or you can circle back and get stuck in that loop again. It's totally up to you. But I guess that is about it. Nothing really else to talk about. But the weather is nice again, so we can sit outside as we used to, and we can shoot the shit in the driveway. I like being out here. It feels good. It's a better atmosphere. It's like we just shoot the shit out here, and I like to do it. So, guys, remember, when you see LFA, you press play, you have a better day. And that's about it for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.